Hey YouTube, L to the W here. Today we'll be working on the HHR seams again. But for the longest time I've had a problem with my my right front brake locking up under hard braking. And I had a bad strut on that side, at least it was leaking oil on that, and I put new struts on. And yeah, this is before I started a YouTube channel, so I don't have a video on that. But anyways, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like I said, it's only under like emergency braking where you slam on the brakes. So those of you that watch the channel know I've already went through the entire brake system. I've been wanting to upgrade to the larger 4-piston Brembo brakes on the front, and I did that a couple weeks ago. I put in new calipers, totally flushed system. I get out there, hit the brakes, man, friggin' front wheel locks up. So I talked to a GM tech friend of mine, and he said it's probably the master cylinder, which I don't understand how, because it goes through, comes out of your master cylinder here, and then kind of goes through this proportioning valve, which I kind of maybe suspect something foul going on in there, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe the pressure in the brake system from the master cylinder is off, and the way the valve is diverts the brakes, because he told me it was separated like left front to right rear to left front, instead of it being front to rear. So the man's a tech. I'm gonna take his word for it, because you can see you cannot follow these brake lines. They just kind of disappear. You can see they kind of just run underneath. But anyways, we're going to try the master cylinder, and when I get done, I'll go test drive it, and I can either add it to the end of this video or I'll put in my comments. Not sure if it worked or not, so maybe somebody else that has the same problem can fix their car too. But anyway, first step, I've already taken these two plastic covers off that go right here, which no big deal. But what we're going to be doing is there's two bolts that hold this fuse panel box in. One right here, and then one kind of straight down there, if you can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out and break this thing loose. It's a 10 millimeter. Now, what I highly recommend for that bolt that's way down there is that if you have a magnetic nut driver, go ahead and break that thing loose and get it as close to the top as you can, because the stud sticking up is too big to normally do that. Go ahead and loosen that up to the top and then use your nut driver. In other words, you're just going to drop that off and it's going to be down there. If not, maybe if you have one of those claw reacher tools, you can go down there, clamp on it, and kind of spin the rest of it off that way. But I'm not going to bore you, and go ahead and take this off and show you the next step. Alright, I lied. I just kind of wanted to show you what I was talking about. These little nut drivers. There's a magnet in here. As you can see, is what I've done. What I've done there is I got that nut all the way to the top of that stud there. So now I'm going to use this to finish it, getting it out. Like that. That'll save you a lot of headaches, because like I said, if you just try to use your socket, you're going to drop it. Okay, if you look down there, these two openings there was two bolts there. They have to come out as well. Once you get that out, then we can kind of lift this whole assembly out of the way. So we can get it move a little bit so we can get access down in here. Because as you can see, the damn, man, always gotta get a hard time, right? Hate these freaking lights. Anyways, you can see the master cylinder's indented, and that's for this piece kind of overhangs, so you gotta get that out the way to remove the piece. Alright, so obviously the next step would be right down here. There's two studs right here that hold the master cylinder on. Pain in the ass to get to, but it's doable. Really helps if you have an air tool. There's not a lot of room to work. Next step, we got to take these two brake lines off. Now, this is a brake line wrench. These are designed for the soft fittings. This is actually designed to go around your hose, the brake line, you know, and fit as close around the nipple as you can. I highly recommend, if you're going to do any of this, that you get the proper tools. In other words, that aluminum down here is extremely soft, and you can easily mess these things up. So I'm going to go ahead and take the two brake lines off, and then I should be ready to get this out of here. But first what I'm going to do is put a rag down here to catch any of this brake fluid so it doesn't get all over stuff in the car, because it is kind of flammable. Alright, I found that taking that big air box out kind of helped, because the way that overhung right here gives you a lot more room to get in and out. But anyway, here's your two brake lines that we took out. Unthreaded those, and then here's your two bolts that the master cylinder was on. I already went ahead and cleaned this up so I don't get a bunch of dirt and that into the new seals. I've already wiped in here, make sure everything's good to go. Now what we have to do with the brand new master cylinder is actually bench bleed it. So you need one of these kits that come with the fittings, and basically just go ahead and thread this in. Alright, so now we'll hook up our hoses. Probably would be nice if these were clear, huh? You could actually see something. It's funny, master cylinders used to come with these. I ordered this. It's an AC Delco master cylinder, and it didn't come with anything. So now you get this little plastic thing here to actually hold your hoses. What I'm going to do for the time being, I'm just going to tie this up. Okay, so now I've filled this master cylinder up with nice, fresh, clean fluid. And now we just need to go ahead and pump these lines through here. Now what we're gonna do is we have to pump this. To get the air out of the master cylinder. Should be actually more than enough. These are your brakes, nothing to play with. You know, if you've never worked on a car, watching a YouTube video is not going to make you a mechanic. This is really just for people that have some kind of mechanical aptitude. I mean, I can't stress enough, don't play around with your brakes if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. I'm not hearing any bubbling. I think we are beyond good. Put this cap on. And I'm going to leave these hoses on until we get this bolted in the car to help keep this stuff from leaking. Alright, so that's it. We got everything back together. Got our 2 bolts tightened on the master cylinder. Our 2 brake lines are tight. We got the fuse panel bolted back in. Got the cover back on. So hopefully this information here will help anybody that needs to do the master cylinder on their HHR. Now, of course, the next step is you have to bleed the brake system. You just totally open the system up. There's going to be all kinds of air in there. I do have a video on how to pressure bleed the system. I'll put a link at the end of the video, one of those tiles at the end. I'll put the link for pressure bleeding for those that need to continue on, unless you have your own system or you do it some other way or whatever. But anyways, hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Give me your time. So subscriptions definitely appreciated if you want to see more videos on this and some of my other cars. And like, shares, comments definitely appreciated as well. And we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.